We rolling.
We let rolling? Okay. Well, my name is Lori Brown, and I'm a housewife. And I've been a housewife for about a year, and the first couple months, I've been cramming things on how to cook things or how to do things simply. And, like, for instance, how many of you have fur children and you've got fleas in your house? I know how to fix it. Trial and error, and you don't have to go to those fancy stores or Petco or Walmart to find you a remedy for the fleas. I got a spray that does it. It only takes 2 ingredients and less than 3 seconds to finish. Today, however, I need to oil that. I'll do that in a minute. I am going to do a rice salad with, hang on a second, one of my favorite dishes that my adopted mom used to find in a can. How many of you like squash? Like zucchini? I don't like the yellow kind. I'll eat zucchini though. But I'm going to take that and some tomatoes. Walmart has it in a can, probably cheaper to do it that way, but you don't get all the nutrition that I like. I'm going to do this kind. Yeah, I just reuse all my stuff. So, yeah, it may look like coffee. Not coffee. It's rice. I'm going to do Alfredo sauce because it's there and I got it. And I need a scoop in here. Don't have time to buy scoops. Plastic measuring cups work just fine. Now, if you're using plastic measuring cups to measure food, please don't. Been there, done that, and this is why. I have no idea what measure that is. So metal is the way to go when it comes to measuring, like accurately measuring. Okay, turn around. Now, I started out wanting to cook by watching things on TV, like these chefs. And one of the chefs always says to get your stuff done first. Lay it out, and that actually does work. So I got green beans, corn. I'm going to do some carrots. Grab the carrots, need a tomato, onion. Can't do anything without my mushrooms. That's just me. I love my mushrooms. Now, rice takes a long time to do. So we want to go ahead and put a couple of these in here. And the reason why the big pot, even though that's a lid, I just eyeball it. The reason why is because I'm going to add a bunch of stuff to this. And if you're just doing rice as a side dish, it's good, that's okay. But I like to add a bunch of junk to my stuff, and healthy junk, mind you. And so I need bigger pots. So I grab this. We're going to put some water in here. Now, here's another tip. And this is something my adopted mom taught me. When you go to boil something, to get it to boil faster, use hot water. And that's lukewarm, but it'll do. Now rice, potatoes, and noodles really have no salt in them. Well, noodles if you hand make them, and I don't hand make them. I just go out and buy mine. Another thing that's just easy to do. But potatoes and rice, definitely. You have to salt these. That way you get a little flavor to them. get flavor in it now, and you ain't going to have a problem with it later. Let's see. I just love this. I love that seasoning. It's got that nice little citrus flavor to it. But it's technically labeled for something other than rice. Smell that lemon in it. Okay. Now, oh yeah. Ever wondered why your stuff sticks? Like you're boiling rice or noodles, and you got it sticks to the bottom. Got no oil in it. Take your spoon. Now you can use oil, or in my case, I use butter. And this is one thing you don't really have to eyeball. Do need to stir that up though. We wash our eyes, that's why it smokes. It's not really burning or anything. It's just the eyes heated up and all that's coming off of it. Now, I gotta get my cutting board and my peeler, and while that's going, get my veggies going. Oh, yeah, I'm saving my seeds. I'm going to start a garden. That way I don't have to go to the store. Best vegetables you can get is homegrown. You can grow yours, please do. Don't have the space? I get it, we don't really have a lot of space, but we got some. Move that over there. That and my coffee. One day I'll show you how to do this. It's a cappuccino made from a pot. Okay. Let's go with a couple bigger ones. Getting up with that. Here's another one. If you have a small space, make sure you pick up as you go. And that way you don't wind up having a massive mess when you try to do something. And that's just plain aggravating. Now, hold it away from you. I reunited with my biological mom, and she's taught me a few things. One day, I may actually have her in here with me, and she'll show you some things. Like, she taught me how to make biscuits. I don't have to go and buy mine, so no more of that pop, pop, pop every time you open up a can of biscuits. So, you peel the outside because this is what's been in the dirt. It just makes it, it kind of cleans it up. There. Later on, I'm going to have this marinating, and the reason why I'm going to pull it out now is because I found a hole in the package in the freezer. So I had to pull it out, so that'll be tomorrow's meal. Anybody ever showed you how to properly cut something? My mom showed me. Things are a wonder. They're rounded for a reason. You hold the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and cut both ends off on both of them. But you hold it at the bottom, and all you got to do is just rotate that. Makes cutting a lot faster. See? By just leaving it in one space and just letting it be, letting it rotate. See how quickly I'm able to cut these? And there you go. I got my 1 carrot done. Yeah, watch your fingers. Please do. Please watch your fingers. We don't want any accidents. Nope, we won't be using the zucchini. Make sure when you buy vegetables, you actually will use them on time. Because they'll actually ruin. I can't use that because it was ruined. But I got a bunch of other stuff I can add to it, and that's okay. I'm not that hard up. And something else I've had to learn is count your blessings. When you're stressed out because you can't pay this and you can't pay that, and you need like dish towels or mops or brooms or vacuum cleaners, and you can't buy some of the basic things. Be patient with God, because He'll actually get it done in His time. I mean, heck, it took me 20-something years just to actually... Now, I'm 34, mind you. But one of the things I always wanted was a guy that would love me for me and a family of my own. And by being patient, which is not easy for me, I wound up getting exactly everything I wanted. Yep, I like chunks, but be very careful with the mushroom. They're very delicate, so don't wash them. If they are dirty, I'll hold them over the garbage can, and I'll just kind of dust it off. That way you don't damage the mushroom. And that's something else I picked up off of TV. Now, some of my recipes I've come up with come from YouTube, or ideas came from YouTube. Some of them have come from just the internet, just looking for them. And some of them have come from TV, like some of these top chefs. Like Amber Now was the one who told you to, always told you get, how does she say that? Your QLTs or something like that. She had an odd little lettering for lay out everything first. Oh, here's a little tip, or not a tip, but did you know? Anything that was grown in the ground, in roots, like carrots and potatoes, it's actually a root. Onions, however, are considered bulbs, because they'll actually root out. No, actually, if you leave them, and this is what I'm going to do. I've got one in there. I'm going to leave it. The more you leave it, the more they'll just root out. And then you just plant the whole thing with the roots facing down. You plant the whole thing in your dirt, deep in your dirt, and the sprout comes up. And that way, you don't have to go and buy something. Leave a couple of your vegetables you were going to use out to let them root. I'm doing that with some of my potatoes, and I've Another thing is seeds. You don't have to go buy packets of seeds like a tomato. I'm going to take some of these seeds out of this tomato. Oh, damn. And I'm going to set them aside, let them dry. And that way, I've got tomatoes to plant one time. What you trying to do? Get my face?
No.
Oh, get a different angle. Now, I don't use the yellow onions anymore. It's not as bad. This is bearable. And it's kind of pretty, too. When you put it in your dish, it's kind of really pretty.
Yeah, some of the part of the film cut out. Some part of it, not all of it.
It's okay. Okay. Again, watch your fingers. Now, no, I am not going to cut this like that. This has got to, all this outside has got to come off. And there's only one way to do it very quickly. Now, we can't forget our rice. Keep that stirred, and you ain't going to have a problem when it comes to sticking to the bottom. And to check and see if it's puffing up, because rice will absorb water, and it puffs up like noodles. It's kind of cool. Okay, we're going to cut this onion in half. And then I'm going to go over the garbage can, take the first, if you notice there's layers in this onion, that's easy for you to go and take the outside. The first layer you come to, pull it off. And I probably should have kept that part because I could have used that for seasoning on my chicken. Oh well. Live and learn. Everything's a learning process. Again, take the last layer off. And see, I got a nice pretty onion. And now, cut this in layers and strips. Now, if you don't want to do this, get you a blender, and I've got one over there. It's for a cup. They have various sizes you can get. A lot of them are really big. The 1 cup was all I could afford. Now, I wouldn't worry about pulling that off with a spoon. And when you fry that, that'll come apart. So I ain't worried about that. And plus the chunks makes things look pretty. Oh, by the way, the flea remedy can also be used as a cleaning product. I know my eyes are watering. You take Dawn dish soap, a spray bottle, and vinegar. Preferably the white kind. The white vinegar. And you take a couple, squeeze a couple, I'll show you here in one video. A couple squeezes of the Dawn soap inside the bottle, and put a couple splashes of vinegar inside that bottle, and fill the rest of it up with water. Now, if you go in, like they always say, use bleach in cleaning product, and your bleach cleans and sterilizes. Yes, that's true. Don't want to use that if you trying to bleach clothes. Please use the colored kind. But Yes, bleach will actually get things like super clean. Don't know. Oh, we're gonna cut that anyway. Okay. Stir this again. You see it's starting to puff up some. See that? Oh, and if you got a onion thing in your eye, here's another thing you could do is hold your face into that that steam there. That'll make it go away. Now I'm gonna have some chicken fingers to go with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven. And because I got a man that works at night that's also holding my camera, I'm gonna be nice and put it on 400. I'm done with this. And I'm done with this. Now, not using this knife for my tomato. Reason why is because this is not going to cut it good. To cut a tomato, you need one that's got a jagged edge. And this is one I love using for my tomatoes because I'm small, my hands are small, and this is easy for me to grip. It cuts like a charm. Let me throw this in here. And we're going to take this top off. Now, my adopted mom always told me, cut away from you. In a lot of cases, yes, please do. Some cases, you can actually get away with not doing that. But you got to go slow and be very careful because a knife will cut you very easily. Now, I'm putting my hand on top of this, just one, to steady it, and two, to keep me from getting hurt. And here in a minute, I'll show you how to cut something going toward you. Now, see that? That's not edible. The rest of that is. Hold that. No, I say go slow. Ow. See? I didn't cut myself, but it hurt. You go slow, and that way you are in control of this knife, and you're not going to have something go slip. And that's the last thing you want in your food. Now I'm just going to dice this up. Now, a lot of times, if these chefs tell you cook with your eyes, because you eat with your eyes, if something looks good, you're going to be more out to want to eat it. And tomatoes gives off a very pretty look. Now, I'm trying to save my seeds so I can have a vegetable garden this year. And not be so struggling with trying to feed my family fresh food. Here's another one. I can take some of these seeds out. All you do is just let it sit. They'll dry. And then you put them in a container. Just put them up. But if you can't remember what seed's what, please label. You don't want mistakes. Now I'll find some more. Oh, there's more right there, but now, this is just rough chops. I'm not really trying to be accurate. Sometimes you'll be told, the vegetable will actually tell you where to cut. Now, that's a good way to get a lot of these the seeds out, if you're trying to plant yours.